Hello all. Today I wanted to make a kind of a special video. Now, I know people in the Dinosaur King community have been wanting to play the emulator lately, and they don't know how to run the Dinosaur King emulator on their computers. Now, I know Stranger did a video on this, but I think he only showed how to play the Japanese emulator, so today I am going to show how to do the rest of them basically. So obviously when I play the tournament, I've got demul here and all the stuff and such, but I'm going to be showing today on how to get demul and how to install everything for it basically. So the first thing you want to do is to obviously go to any search engine that you've used, like Bing, Chrome. I use Microsoft Edge because it's what I've got on this computer, and you want to search demul. When you search demul, you go onto their official website, which should look something like this, and if you go to their recent version, it will download its recent version of demul, obviously. So obviously you find it all here, yada yada. You need to extract the files, obviously, to obviously use it. So if I go here you go, it's a file. If I go extract, there's my extract. Well, you know what I mean. You extract the files and you should get a file like this, similar to this. So yeah, so as soon as you get this file, you'll click into it and you'll get all of this. Now obviously when you have all of this, you might be missing some of these. Like for instance, I think you might need to make a ROMs file. Let me have a check for you. Yeah, nevram and plugins is here, but if you look at this, there is also msaves, which isn't here. The nevram is there, the plugins is there. You need a ROMs file by the looks of it. Scache, snap and C states. By the looks of it, you need those as well. But for now, I think all you need is just the ROMs. I think you just need that at least. I don't think you need the other ones. I think they create themselves. So, once you obviously got that, you need that ROMs file, and you need these specific files, which I will include a folder in the description showing all these files. Now once you've downloaded the files, these are the ROMs for the Dinosaur King emulator. So you want to copy these, and then you want to go onto your demul, you want to go to your ROMs, and you want to paste them into the ROMs section. And as soon as they're pasted into the ROM section, that is the main part of this done. The rest of it is quite simple. So as soon as you have that installed and it's all in your ROMs, you got all the files you need, you want to open demul. You'll get a bar like this. Now it won't work straight off the bat. You still need to configure the files for the plugins and paths. So you want to go config. You want to go down to plugins and paths. Once you're on here, you'll have this box that will show you video, your GD-ROM, sound, controls, netplay. Basically down here you'll have 3 different areas: plugins path, ROMs and BIOSes path, and nevram path. With this, wherever you stored all of these files, you want to click select. It will bring you onto this, and where you have installed the files you need to go to. So like where you installed the demul emulator, if it's in your basic files, or so for me this instance, if for now it is in my downloads. So if I go to my downloads, there's the demul file. If I go into here, it will come up with these. Now corresponding to what it says here, your plugins path. So click on your plugins folder and click OK. Now this will link obviously the plugins folder to the plugins path. Now this sometimes automatically updates the flow with the plugins, but you're still best off clicking at the add and doing the same thing you did before. Go to wherever you downloaded the demul, go into it and just click on ROMs and just click OK. And then it'll pop up saying it's got the ROMs file, and then obviously as usual it's same for the NevRAM. Go to where you've downloaded and click on your NevRAM. Now it should be like this, and now as you filled this in, this should automatically fill. If it doesn't, it needs to look like this. You need to change the settings to look like this basically, and then that's it. That's now configured, and now your files have all been linked up to demul. Now if you want to have the controls, if you go to controls, Joy 1 is the first control for the left side, so basically player 1, and Joy 2 is the control for the right side, which is obviously player 2. Now once you click on Joy 1, it'll come up with this menu. Now coin, you can change this to whatever you want, but this will be inserting a coin into the machine. It'll be what would be simulating basically. So you click on here and you select whatever key you want to be the coin. For me it's the return key, and then with the service and the start key, this will basically allow you to access the test options on the machine basically. This will allow you to access the different tests and different sides of the machine. So for me, I normally do the service as 9 and the start as 0. Now the 3 buttons which you want to have on here will be push 1, push 2 and push 3. Push 1 will be rock, which I tend to be W. Push 2 from what I know will be scissors, which I tend to be A, and push 3 from what I know will be paper, which I tend to do D. These are the 3 rock paper scissors which you want. Now it doesn't have to be WAD, it can be whatever you want. It can be any button. Like for instance, if you wanted it to be G, you can put it to G. But this is what I do. So once that's done, that's all that's set up. And now it's the same with Joy 2. You've got push 1, 2 and 3, which will be rock, scissors and paper. Now this is already binded to my 3 buttons I like to use. I like to use I, J and L for push 1, push 2 and push 3. Now once all that is set up, you click OK, and now you're pretty much ready to go. Now to load the Dinosaur King ROMs, you need to go to File and run nami-nami2. Now on here it will come up with all these. Now none of these will work because you don't have the desired ROMs to run them, but the ROMs you need to run the Dinosaur King stuff you have in the files already. So we got, if you scroll down, you'll find Dinosaur King USA, Dinosaur King Operation Dinosaur Rescue, Dinosaur King D King versus the Alpha Fortress, and Dinosaur King Awaken, or the Japan version. Now as soon as you find these, pick your desired game you want to play, whichever one of these you want to play, click on it and just click OK. And I have the wrong file somewhere. I'll be back. I need to make sure that file is correct. Okay, sorry about that. Basically that was a file which I forgot to put, so don't worry, I'll fix that and it'll be perfectly fine, but I forgot one of the files, which was the Dino KI4 file. Now I will include that, so as usual just copy and put them all over into obviously the ROMs. So back to where I was. Yeah, you need basically all the files I've got, just copy and paste into that ROM file. So back to where I left it, if you scroll down and you pick whatever version of the emulator you like to run, for instance, I want to play the Japan, click OK, and there you go. It will run the desired emulator that you've decided to pick. Now, people will want to know how to input cards. Now, not all Dinosaur King versions obviously allow every type of card. So, if you wish to input a card into the emulator, I'll bring this down a bit because this is going to start blaring music over my voice. If you wish to input a card into the emulator, like for me on the instance with the tournament, if you have the dinosaur you want to choose, if you have it as a physical card, at the bottom there will be a barcode, obviously, because that's obviously the arcade version. If you use like a mobile app, you'll be able to scan that barcode and it will come up with a Sega code, something like this. Now, if you don't have the mobile app, then there is a file which you will get when you download demul called Nami Spider Codes. If you click onto here, this should have nearly, I don't think it's every, but it should have nearly every dinosaur and all their different types of codes required. Like for instance, Deinonychus. That is the code for Deinonychus. So, once you've got the code you desire, obviously when you play in the game, whatever key you selected for enter, like to enter a coin, you press that button, enters a coin into the emulator. Now I'm gonna do 2-player for just an example, just so that I can get on and swipe a card. But once you get onto the card swiping screen, you have to press F1. Now when you press F1, you'll get this little box that says card configuration. Now I'm going to pause this because I want to explain, but yeah, you'll get this box saying card configuration. Now, whatever code you have selected, either scanned in yourself or you have found on this list, if you copy the code which you have selected and paste it into here, it will swipe into the emulator. So if I just unpause this a minute, you bring up the card configuration, paste in the code, okay, the code you just picked got swiped into the emulator. Now it's the same when it comes to moves, like for instance atomic bomb. If I just copy the move for atomic bomb, click F1, you bring up the card configuration and paste that move in, it swipes that move into the obviously the slot which you picked. So if I skip all this now, when I get into the battle, I obviously picked Deinonychus as the dinosaur with an atomic bomb move. So if I get into the battle, here you go. You have Deinonychus with its atomic bomb move, which will come up as a super move, because will come as a mystery move, because that is obviously for a mystery dinosaur. Now once you've got the game running, it will be whatever buttons you desire to pick for rock paper scissors for the left side and the right side. So for instance, this is the second player screen. If I press L, it works for player 2. So that's it. That's basically the entire emulator up and running. Now to obviously pick your moves, you got the rock paper scissors, the 3 desired buttons you picked. For instance, I will pick scissors for Deinonychus and paper for the Triceratops, which means the Deinonychus will put off the hit. But yeah, that is in the nutshell on how to run Dinosaur King emulator. I hope people will watch this and hopefully understand everything that just happened, and I hope people understand everything, and yeah, so I hope people enjoyed this little snippet, and I will chat to everyone another time, I guess.